The Timekeeper's Burden. The beginning of my journey. I still remember the day my life took an extraordinary turn. One moment, I was living my ordinary life as Elijah, a simple historian and linguist, and the next, I was hurtling through time and space. I awoke to find myself in a place unfamiliar to me. I had no recollection of how or why this had happened. The only certainty was that I was now living in a different era. The people here spoke a mixture of ancient Greek and Latin. They wore clothing that showed both Greek and Egyptian influences. With my linguistic skills and training, I was able to pick up the language with ease. I learned quickly that I was also changed by the experience. My body refused to age. I could still be hurt and needed to eat, but it was as if time had lost its hold on me. At first, I was overwhelmed by the sudden change. I struggled to wrap my head around the concept of living in a bygone era, with no way to return to my own time. At the time I could not tell you the year, but now, afterward, my best estimation would be approximately 11,000 BC. But as the days passed, I began to settle into my new life. I made friends, found work, and started to rebuild my existence. I had settled into a routine where I would live for 4 to 5 decades, then leave on a trip for 2 decades only to return as the offspring of who I was before. Yet, despite this routine becoming my norm, I couldn't shake off the feeling that there was something more to my existence. That's when the messages started. Cryptic notes, whispered warnings, and mysterious prophecies began to find their way to me. At first, I thought they were just the ramblings of a madman, but as the messages continued to arrive, I realized that they were something more. They were warnings, alerting me to impending disasters and catastrophic events that would alter the course of human history. The first message was the most cryptic of all. It arrived in the form of a whispered warning in a crowded market square. "Save them before the city is consumed," the voice whispered in my ear. I had no idea who said it or what it meant, but the urgency in the tone sent shivers down my spine. Consumed by what? When would it happen? I did not know these things. It wasn't until weeks later that I realized the significance of the message. I was able to convince some families to leave on a supposed camping trip. We were crossing the outer walls as the water came rushing in. So many people died that day. But in the loss we did save about 12 or 2 families. We had to make camp on the shore nearby. The families grouped together in tents, trying to make sense of it all. The buildings of our once majestic city are now in ruins, jutting out of the water like so many bones. I was stunned. How could I, a mere mortal, have any influence over the course of history? But as the messages continued to arrive, I began to understand the gravity of my situation. I was not just a passive observer in the timeline of human events. I was an active participant, tasked with ensuring that pivotal moments in history unfolded as they should. I found myself moving forward throughout time, from ancient civilizations to modern-day metropolises, proceeding day by day. I witnessed events that shaped the world, from the construction of the Great Pyramid to the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. With each new message, I was forced to intervene, to nudge the course of history back onto its intended path. As I look back on my journey so far and the journey that is to come, I am struck by the weight of my responsibility. I have witnessed and will witness more moments of greatness and moments of tragedy. I have and will see humanity at its best and at its worst. Through it all, I will remain steadfast and committed to my mission of ensuring that history unfolds as it should. And I, Elijah, will be there, watching, guiding, and ensuring the future. In a world where time is a fragile thread, I have become the weaver, carefully stitching together the fabric of reality. It is a daunting task, but one that I am proud to undertake. For I am the timeless guardian, the sentinel of the timeline. I am the timekeeper, and this is my burden.